So there you have them. We have with us in the studio our distinguished guest. You can see that he's totally distinguished. The way he's looking right here on set. My pleasure to welcome Oludamola Adebowale onto Close Flow.
How you doing? Good
Very
morning.
well. I should be asking you that.
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, I can see it. You're looking very opulent, as it were. So maybe we should be asking you how we can monetize the kind of looks that you have and translate to the story of Nigeria. So with all the fuel scarcity and all that,
Yeah.
you're blossoming. So how are you managing it?
I mean, I keep things very simple. I keep things very simple. I keep it very quiet. You know, I would say it's a sad situation, the way the country is right now, but I think the country is at the same time on its path to greatness. It's a storm we just have to weather. We have to take our time to weather it, and hopefully, you know, Nigerians have been hopeful for too long. You know, so the idea of selling hope, you know, as a concept is not really as valid as it should be. But however, we can't lose hope.
All right. So we should not be pessimistic. That is what Oludamola is telling us. We would like to join him, you know, by feeling that Nigeria should not be hopeless. We should be hopeful. Okay. So let's look at the issue on the table. Now, if we are going to use art as a catalyst to change this hopelessness that seems to be in the air,
Okay.
how are we going to do that? Can you give us just a summary of how that can be altered?
Policies, strategy, and being strategic with how we move around the arts and culture industry. It's not just about dumping money or just pouring money to get some certain infrastructures in place. There has to be policies so that a government comes and they stick to that policy. If I'm a governor of a particular state and I say, oh, this is what I want to do with this state by having this cultural festival, the next governor coming in might not buy into my vision.
Because it's not a policy.
Because it's not a policy, and because it just feels like, oh, I'm riding on this guy's vision. I want to do something that I will be known for. And it automatically becomes a competition. It's not a competition. The life of people, our essence as Nigerians, as Igbos, as Yorubas, as Hausas, is not a competition. It's not a quest to outdo one another. You understand? So policies are very important when it comes to the arts and culture. Policies are very important. There has to be structures and strategies of how we intend to move. And I'm not saying just a short-term policy. I'm saying long-term policies.
That is sustainable.
Sustainable ones. 5, 20, 30, 40 years kind of programs that would not only engage, but also revitalize the very core of the industry. Now, that goes a long way in just transforming the industry and also creating a very robust economical flow
From that activity.
Exactly.
Okay, all right. Now, one aspect that you have hinted at, because when you have a policy, that means that policy direction will probably have some benefits
Yes.
outlined as incentives.
Yes.
Maybe tax shelters. Maybe,
Yes.
I mean, there must be something to attract those who are asking to come and join you in the execution of that policy. So, which experience are you going to borrow from when you say, okay, so we want to create, let's look at Nollywood, for instance.
Okay.
Now, everybody says, okay, Nigeria now ranked number 3 in the world in terms of the volume of movies being made in the country. But are there any incentives attracting people to other art sector in the country? Do we have in the Nigerian environment, the creative sector, do we have any other or any specific policy paradigm that we are following?
I don't think so. For now, everybody is just
Doing
what they need to do. You know, as artists, we are quite restless creatures. Regardless of how the economy is, regardless of how the situation of the world is, we still want to do these things that we know how to do best. We still want to
express ourselves.
Perform. We still want to dance. We still want to write poetry, regardless, because this is our life. You know, you won't wake up. You will not feel good about yourself or about the way you are living if you don't put in the work. You know, there's a thing about the art. You need to consistently create new body of works. So regardless of how bad the economy is or how bad, if there are incentive or cultural policies or government policies, you still want to do you at the end of the day. But at the same time too, you knowing what you are doing is not really getting as much reward as some of your counterparts outside
Elsewhere.
Nigeria. You know, that's why we have some of us trying to go outside and get grad, people traveling for MFAs, PhDs, just to better themselves more than just what the Nigerian dream is giving to them, because really it's killing. It's killing. But at the same time too, we want to still produce body of work. We want to still create wonderful art piece that will be showcased in different galleries all around the world. We still have Nigerian producing body of work that will be featured at the Biennale and different cultural festivals. And you should understand the fact that Nigerians are just amazing creatures. Like, they are built on another separate spectrum.
Okay, so we'll look at the genetics of Nigerians later on in the course of the program. But one thing that you have highlighted here will be the question of, okay, so as an archivist and a curator, when you say body of works, are you delighted with the current bodies of work Nigerians are producing, or are we only looking at historicals in when you say, okay, so we want to go and share with the rest of the world what Nigerians have created? What are we actually sharing? Are we sharing only artifacts, historical artifacts, or are we also including in those body of works what is currently the vision of Nigerians artistically?
Nigerians are doing a lot to start with, and there are so many persons or organizations in the ecosystem that are actually doing so many beautiful works to showcase. Now, when you say body of works, you can only work with what you are limited to in terms of your resources or trying to produce that work. You know, you can only do within your frame, knowing that there's always the fiscal strain, there's always the economical input consideration to get these things ready. So you will only do your best because you're also limited with so many factors. We are trying to battle with fuel and light and just the very core of you living, you know. But not to take it away from different creatives in the creative business, they are doing amazing work. Now, this is the thing. If the percentage of what they are putting in place is like 20-30% on their own,
yes,
and they are getting international recognitions and, you know, getting featured in global press and all that stuff. Now, think of what they would do if they have sort of a government intervention to the system, to the creative industry. I mean, they would do way better than what we're doing right now. You know, body of works in so many different ways to further tell the authentic Nigerian story, putting Nigeria in positive light. A countless body of people and different platforms are doing so many great works, because at the end of the day, the narrative of Nigeria needs to be portrayed
changed
in a good light. So that's just about that.
Okay, all right. He has assured us that we don't lack, as it were, the brilliance of our artistic expression that we have. Yes, okay. So we are already, as it were, we are happy to hear that. But now, what he should tell us again would be the fact that, now, educationally, are we doing enough, you know, not only training, but also reorientating those who are actually in this, as it were, ecosystem, to look at the global space and how Nigeria can now become more relevant and also more economically viable within that ecospace? Are we doing that? Yes.
No, not at all. Not at all. You know, back in the 80s and 70s and 60s, I'm saying 70s and 60s based on history, and 80s because, you know, universities are not what they used to be. When I went to Ife, it's not what it used to be right now. You know, the values and the standards are dropping daily. Technical schools are not as vibrant as it used to be back in the days. And the everybody now, I mean, a couple of days ago, I was saying something on Twitter, and somebody was actually tweeting and saying, school na scam.
Okay, well, you know, before you continue, some of our viewers are already trying to reach us, okay, on the show. Technically, we will try and get back to them because he had just pointed out to us. So let's get this Twitter. So the fellow says, education is what?
It says school na scam, quote.